A monstrous alien armada, a dark, star-obstructing cloud, materialized at the solar system's edge. 10,000 warships, flawlessly arrayed, their black hulls gleaming under the sun's distant light, each the size of a city, bristled with weaponry that had decimated countless galaxies. Admiral Vexther, 4 eyes gleaming with satisfaction, surveyed Earth from his flagship's bridge, viewing screens displaying a primitive world, barely leaving its atmosphere. Crude rockets and simple satellites, he scoffed to his officers, the conqueror of 847 worlds speaking with ruthless certainty. These humans will surrender within hours, like the others. On Luna Base 7, deep within a hidden crater, Commander Jake Sullivan, graying hair and calm blue eyes, watched through his telescopes. His entire career had been preparing for this moment. Peace was impossible, the approaching fleet made clear. "Sir, a transmission," Lieutenant Karen Bell reported. The fleet's admiral, a terrifying reptilian figure with glowing eyes, addressed the terrified planet below. "Primitive inhabitants of the 3rd planet." His voice, translated by Earth's computers, boomed with chilling command. "The Galactic Dominion has chosen your world for incorporation. You have 72 hours to surrender unconditionally. Resistance is futile. Your weapons are child's play. Submit, or your world is destroyed." Silence. Jake's crew, seasoned veterans, felt the weight of this unprecedented threat. Jake ordered an immediate alert to Earth Command. "The visitors are here, and they mean business." President Lisa Harper, a former military leader, was pulled from a crisis budget meeting. Her team faced the stark reality: 10,000 ships. Earth sensors confirmed the alarming size of the fleet. Decades of preparation, of hidden bases, advanced weapons, finally culminated in this moment. "Activate global defense protocols," she commanded. Dr. Alex Chun, a quiet man in the Colorado mountains, received the activation codes. His lab, a fortress deep underground, hummed to life, launching hidden weapon systems on Mars, Jupiter's moons, and the asteroid belt. From Luna Base 7, Jake watched as the aliens confidently entered Earth's orbit, broadcasting their threats. "Panic is spreading," reported Lieutenant Bell. Their broadcasts were picked up by civilian telescopes. Earth's hidden installations remained undetected, their existence veiled from the alien sensors. The battle for survival had begun. The Dominion forces fixated solely on Earth's surface, overlooking our clandestine installations. A fatal oversight. Admiral Vester, misled by his own expectations, perceived a primitive world with rudimentary technology. While he could detect nuclear arms, they paled in comparison to Dominion plasma bombs. He identified military sites, but their simple radar and missile systems posed no threat to his fleet. "Begin the planetary approach," he commanded, ordering his commanders, "Deploy the fear formation. Let these humans witness the Dominion's overwhelming might before they capitulate." As the alien vessels drew nearer, their immense hulls cast vast shadows across the planet. Terrified citizens worldwide gazed upward as the colossal alien craft obscured the sun. Yet within hidden bases scattered throughout the solar system, human defenders observed and awaited. A meticulously laid trap, sprung by their sheer arrogance and past triumphs. Soon, they would comprehend that humanity was unlike any species previously subjugated. They would soon discover humanity's readiness for this conflict, long before the first alien vessel breached their solar system. The true confrontation was imminent. Captain Zixenol piloted his scout ship toward the Azure planet with absolute certainty. He had executed this identical mission countless times on other worlds. The procedure was always the same. Approach the primitive planet, gauge their defenses, perhaps obliterate a few military installations to underscore their helplessness, and then return to the fleet with vital intelligence. His craft, sleek and swift, boasted plasma cannons and energy shields that had never faltered. Capable of leveling an entire city with a single discharge, no primitive weapon had ever inflicted so much as a scratch upon its hull. Zixanal anticipated this assignment to be the most effortless of his career. Commencing approach to the third planet, he reported to Admiral Vexler. Initial scans indicate no significant military activity. The inhabitants appear to be seeking refuge in their rudimentary shelters. From his concealed vantage point aboard Guardian 1, Colonel Ryan Brooks observed the alien scout ship entering Earth's orbital space. Guardian 1, humanity's most sophisticated orbital defense platform, was artfully disguised as mere space debris to alien sensors. It had maintained this position for 15 years, fully armed and prepared for this precise moment. Ryan, a seasoned soldier with unwavering hands and nerves of steel, had dedicated his entire adult life to training for this very mission. Beside him, Weapons Officer Lieutenant Sam Martinez tracked the alien vessel with their advanced targeting systems. "Sir, we have a clear shot," Sam reported softly. "The alien vessel is proceeding on a direct course, with no evasive maneuvers. They are completely unaware of our presence." Ryan nodded, initiating a secure communication link to Earth Command. "This is Guardian 1, requesting authorization to engage the alien scout." President Harper's voice responded immediately. "Guardian 1, you are cleared to demonstrate human capabilities. Show them what we are capable of." Ryan offered a grim smile, turning to his weapons console. Concealed beneath Guardian 1's deceptive exterior lay humanity's most formidable weapon, a gravitational pulse cannon, capable of manipulating space-time itself. This groundbreaking technology, developed through the study of salvaged alien vessels, had been refined by human scientists far beyond its original design. "Lock onto target," Ryan commanded. "Target acquired, sir," Sam confirmed. "Gravitational pulse cannon ready to fire." "Fire!" An invisible wave of distorted gravity surged from Guardian 1, hurtling towards the alien scout ship. The weapon was utterly silent, leaving no visible trace, yet its impact was catastrophic. The gravitational field surrounding Zixanal's vessel intensified a staggering 10,000 times its normal strength. The alien captain had a mere second to grasp the unfolding disaster before his ship was compressed into a perfect sphere, no larger than a marble. The crushing force was so instantaneous that the ship's emergency systems couldn't even transmit a distress signal. One moment, a formidable military vessel. The next, a minuscule orb of compressed metal adrift in the void. Admiral Vexler awaited his scout's report, but only an unnerving silence echoed through the communication channels. After an hour of no response, a sense of unease began to settle upon him. "Contact Scout 7 immediately," he ordered. "Scout 7 is not responding to any transmissions," his communications officer reported. "We are unable to locate the vessel on our sensors." The Admiral's brow furrowed. It was conceivable that the primitive humans had achieved a stroke of luck and disabled the Scout's communication systems, but complete annihilation seemed inconceivable. Their weaponry was far too crude to pose any threat to Dominion technology. "Dispatch Scouts 4, 6, and 9 to investigate," he commanded. "Ensure they approach from divergent vectors and maintain constant communication." The 3 additional scout ships fanned out as they neared Earth, their captains exhibiting greater caution than Zixanal had displayed. They scanned with meticulous care. While searching for any trace of their missing comrade, Colonel Ryan Brooks, ever vigilant for primitive missile attacks, watched them approach with grim satisfaction. The aliens were now more cautious, yet blissfully unaware of the true threat they faced. He had prepared 3 distinct weapon systems, each far exceeding anything the Dominion had ever encountered. "Sir, 3 more alien scouts are approaching," reported Sam. "They're maintaining formation and scanning the sector where we obliterated the initial vessel." "Perfect," Ryan replied. "Let's offer them some variety. Target the lead ship with the antimatter cannons." The antimatter cannon unleashed a torrent of particles. designed to molecularly annihilate anything in its path. The alien vessel's shields momentarily flared as they attempted to absorb the immense energy, but antimatter, an unstoppable force in the universe, could neither be halted nor diverted. The entire craft simply vanished, leaving behind not even a wisp of debris. The second scout attempted a hasty retreat, but Ryan was prepared with the quantum disruptor. This devastating weapon fractured the fundamental forces binding matter, causing the alien ship to disintegrate at an atomic level, dissolving like sugar in water as its hull separated into individual atoms that drifted away into the void. The third scout's captain desperately fired his plasma cannons into empty space, aiming for an unseen enemy. Ryan countered with a temporal fracture bomb, creating a bubble of accelerated time around the target. From the alien's perspective, 1,000,000 years passed in mere seconds. He aged to death as his ship crumbled into dust. Admiral Vexter watched in utter horror as 3 more of his ships winked out of existence from his sensors. There was no visible enemy, no energy signatures, no indication of what was annihilating his fleet. His scouts were simply ceasing to be. "Sir, what are your orders?" his tactical officer inquired, his voice trembling with fear. The Admiral's pride warred with his instinct for survival. In 84 of his conquests, he had never encountered anything like this. No species had ever destroyed even one of his ships, let alone 4. However, retreat was inconceivable. The Dominion did not falter before primitives. "Prepare the full assault fleet," he commanded through gritted teeth. "These humans may possess some novelties, but they cannot withstand 10,000 ships. We shall overwhelm them with sheer numbers and overwhelming firepower." On Guardian 1, Ryan received new directives from Earth Command. The demonstration phase was concluded. The true battle was now set to commence. "Sir, we are receiving reports from all hidden installations across the solar system," Sam announced. "The Jupiter defense grid is online, Mars-based reports are ready, and the asteroid belt installations are powering up their primary weaponry." Ryan gazed out at the massing alien fleet and offered a cold smile. The aliens believed they were facing primitives who had achieved a few lucky strikes. They were entirely unaware that humanity had spent decades transforming their entire solar system into the galaxy's most formidable fortress. "Let them come," he stated softly. "It is time to demonstrate to the Dominion what happens when you threaten Earth." Admiral Vexter issued the order that would forever alter the course of galactic history. All ships advance on the primitive planet in full assault formation. Destroy anything that moves. A Dominion armada surged forward, akin to a black tide of destruction. 10,000 warships moving in perfect unison, their plasma cannons charging and shields at maximum strength. Each captain was confident that their superior numbers would obliterate any human trickery. What they failed to comprehend was that they were advancing directly into the most intricate trap ever conceived by any species in the galaxy. Captain Steve Mitchell stood on the bridge of the UE Titan, humanity's flagship, concealed deep within the asteroid belt. The colossal vessel was ingeniously housed within a hollowed-out asteroid, rendering it completely invisible to alien sensors. Surrounding him, dozens of similar installations ignited their weapon systems. "Sir, all asteroid defense platforms are reporting readiness status," announced his tactical officer, Commander Lisa Rodriguez. "We have over 500 installations active and awaiting your command." Steve nodded grimly. He was a man of composure, possessing calm gray eyes and steady hands, selected for this command precisely because he never succumbed to panic under pressure. Today, every ounce of that composure would be vital. "Signal all stations," he ordered. "Operation Solar Storm is now active." Throughout the asteroid belt, massive rocks that had peacefully drifted for eons suddenly sprang to life. Hidden fusion engines ignited, causing the asteroids to spin like gargantuan bullets. Gravitational accelerators, meticulously constructed over decades of clandestine development, began to draw selected fragments of rock and metal toward unimaginable velocities. Lieutenant Maya Patel commanded the Jupiter defense grid from her station on Europa. She was a brilliant young officer, the architect of many of the weapon systems now coming online. Her screens displayed thousands of targets as the alien fleet entered the outer solar system. The initial assault began with a calm, chilling pronouncement into her comms. Commencing kinetic bombardment array. What followed was a brutal defiance of everything the Dominion understood about warfare. Instead of energy blasts or missiles, humanity had transformed the entire solar system into a weapon. A relentless barrage of asteroids, each accelerated to near light speed, screamed towards the alien fleet. The rocks were too swift for Dominion sensors to properly track. By the time their ships registered the incoming projectiles, it was far too late to evade. The first asteroid impacted Admiral Vex Thurus's lead battle group with the force of a nuclear detonation. The alien energy shields, designed for plasma and laser, offered no resistance to solid matter moving at such impossible velocities. The asteroid tore through the shield as if it were non-existent, cleaving the massive warship in two. "Impossible," the alien admiral whispered, watching his fleet crumble beneath a rain of celestial debris. Within moments, dozens of his vessels were reduced to mangled metal and scattered wreckage. Alien captains desperately attempted to adapt, spreading their formations and boosting shield power. But humanity had anticipated this. The second wave of asteroids arrived from diverse angles, guided by sophisticated targeting systems that predicted every potential evasive maneuver. Captain Zeth Carr, commanding one of the Dominion's premier dreadnoughts, unleashed his plasma cannons, attempting to obliterate the incoming rocks. His weapons possessed the power to level an entire planet, yet the asteroids persisted. For every one he destroyed, 10 more appeared. His ship's hull groaned under the impact of a small moon, accelerated to unimaginable speeds. Emergency alarms blared as his vessel began to break apart. "All hands abandon ship," he ordered. But there was no sanctuary in the void. In the first 10 minutes alone, 2,000 Dominion ships were pulverized into drifting scrap metal. The surviving aliens regrouped, adjusting their shield frequencies, and finally finding a way to deflect some of the kinetic attacks. Admiral Vexter allowed himself a flicker of hope. His forces were adapting. They could endure this primitive assault and continue their mission. That hope was extinguished the moment Dr. Ben Clark activated the Soul Cannon. Dr. Clark, a quiet scientist, had dedicated 15 years to humanity's most audacious weapon project. Deep within the Sun, a network of satellites and magnetic field generators, constructed from advanced materials capable of withstanding stellar infernos, had been meticulously assembled. "Soul Cannon charging," he announced from his control station on Mercury. "Target acquired. Firing in 10 seconds." The Sun's surface erupted with controlled fury. Massive solar flares, focused and directed by human ingenuity, coalesced into a beam of pure stellar energy. The beam, wider than Earth's moon and hotter than a star's core, struck the Dominion fleet's center with annihilating force. 3,000 alien ships simply vanished, their hulls instantly vaporized into plasma. The sheer intensity of the energy created a temporary aurora around Earth as radiation dispersed through the solar system's magnetic field. "Dear gods," Admiral Vexter breathed, witnessing half his remaining fleet obliterated in a blinding flash. "What manner of monsters are these humans?" The surviving alien ships scattered in panicked disarray, their rigid formations shattering as captains desperately sought escape from humanity's incomprehensible weaponry. But as they fled towards the outer solar system, they discovered there was no escape. Captain Steve Mitchell watched his tactical display with a cold smile as the aliens retreated. "Now comes the true surprise," he stated to his crew. "Activate the gravity well generators." Hidden throughout the solar system, massive machines designed to manipulate space-time itself sprang to life. They generated artificial gravity wells, ensnaring the fleeing alien ships and drawing them inexorably back towards the inner planets. Their engines strained, their faster-than-light drives failed within the gravitational distortion, and their conventional propulsion was insufficient to break free. "Sir, we have them," Commander Rodriguez reported with evident satisfaction. "All remaining enemy vessels are trapped within our defensive grid. They cannot escape." Admiral Vexther stared at his tactical display in utter disbelief. Of his original 10,000 ships, only 5,000 remained operational. Humanity had decimated half his fleet in under an hour, employing weapons that defied the very laws of physics. "Sir, we are receiving multiple distress calls from our ships," his communications officer stated. "They are requesting immediate evacuation." The alien admiral closed his 4 eyes, struggling to comprehend. In his extensive career, he had never encountered anything remotely like this. These humans weren't merely defending their homeworld. They were systematically annihilating his entire force. Admiral Vexther, commanding the galaxy's most formidable fleet, repurposed his own star system into a devastating weapon, initiating a hesitant plea for peaceful withdrawal from human forces. Before his transmission could be sent, however, his sensors registered novel contacts. Ships, cloaked until that moment, materialized throughout the region. Sleek, lethal vessels seemingly cloaked by manipulated light. The human fleet was finally revealing its formidable presence. With mounting dread, Vexther realized the brutal assault he had just endured was merely a prelude. The true conflict was about to erupt. He watched, paralyzed by growing terror, as spectral forms coalesced around his ensnared armada. The human vessels emerged from invisibility like phantoms made manifest, their stealth systems deactivating to unveil craft utterly alien to Vexther's experience. These human warships, astonishingly graceful, possessed a beauty that defied comprehension, their hulls appearing to warp light itself. They navigated the void with an impossible fluidity, as if unbound by the very laws of physics. Though dwarfer than any Dominion battlecruiser, their sheer potency sent a shiver of primal fear through the alien admiral. From her command vessel, the UES Liberty, General Katie Morrison directed the human fleet. A woman forged in the crucible of 3 prior wars before the alien arrival. She possessed short, dark hair and piercing green eyes that betrayed an unyielding resolve. Surveying her tactical display, a frigid satisfaction settled upon her as she tallied the encroaching enemy ships. "All units, report status," she commanded. "Ready, ma'am," responded her tactical officer, Commander Rick Jones. "We have them completely encircled. 5,000 enemy vessels are now trapped within our gravity wells." Katie nodded slowly. "Open a secure channel to their flagship. Let us hear what their admiral has to say." On his bridge, Admiral Vexther strove to project an outward calm as the human commander appeared on his screen. General Morrison emanated an aura of serene confidence, betraying no apprehension towards his colossal fleet. "Admiral Vexther," she stated, her voice steady and resonant. "I am General Katie Morrison of the Earth Defense Force. Your intrusion into our solar system concludes now." The alien admiral drew himself to his full imposing height, attempting to project an authority he no longer truly possessed. "You may have inflicted damage upon my fleet, General," he declared, a tremor of desperation beneath his words. "But you still confront 5,000 of the most technologically advanced warships ever constructed. Surrender now, and I shall extend mercy to your unsophisticated world." A cold, knowing smile touched Katie's lips. "Admiral," she replied, her tone chillingly precise, "you appear to misinterpret our current circumstances. You are no longer the hunter, you are the hunted." Before Vexther could formulate a response, the human ships launched their assault with a synchronized precision that stole his breath. The alien fleet had earned renown across the galaxy for its flawless formations and unwavering tactical discipline, yet the humans moved with the seamless unity of a single, vast organism. Captain Tony Rodriguez spearheaded the initial fighter wave in his craft, the Falcon. A pilot of remarkable speed and unwavering nerves, he had dedicated his life to this very moment. His vessel flickered in and out of normal space-time, appearing beside an alien cruiser only long enough to unleash its payload before vanishing once more. The weaponry employed by the humans defied every tenet of warfare known to the Dominion. Rather than plasma or lasers, they unleashed reality anchors, devices that crippled the alien vessel's advanced capabilities. Dominion ships, operational for centuries, suddenly experienced catastrophic system failures, their engines faltering and weapons powering down. "Sir, our systems are experiencing critical malfunctions," reported Vexther's engineering officer in a voice laced with panic. "Nothing is responding to our commands. It's as if our technology is being systematically deactivated." Helplessly, the alien admiral watched his ships become defenseless targets. The humans pressed their advantage with probability bombs, weapons that warped localized physics around enemy craft. Dominion vessels began succumbing to inexplicable failures as the fundamental laws of science contorted within small spatial pockets. Captain Helen Davis, piloting humanity's most sophisticated single-seat vessel, the Valkyrie, directed her ship on a direct trajectory towards the alien flagship. Her craft, equipped with technology enabling existence across multiple dimensions simultaneously, was a marvel of human ingenuity. "Liberty, this is Valkyrie," she reported calmly, initiating her attack run on the enemy flagship. Helen activated her ship's phase drive, dissolving from conventional space. The Valkyrie slipped through dimensional planes unknown to the aliens, phasing through solid matter as if it were empty void. Admiral Vexther detected the diminutive human fighter approaching on his sensors, but his weapon systems proved incapable of acquiring a lock. The ship flickered erratically, appearing solid one moment and transparent as a specter the next. "All batteries, fire upon that fighter," he commanded desperately. Hundreds of plasma cannons unleashed their fury upon the Valkyrie, but the energy beams passed harmlessly through the phased vessel. Helen guided her ship directly through the flagship's hull, her advanced sensors meticulously mapping the alien vessel's internal architecture. She located her target, the ship's primary reactor core, a colossal fusion chamber powering the entire armada. Without a moment's hesitation, she deployed a quantum singularity bomb. Within the reactor, the bomb, smaller than a marble yet containing a star's compressed might, phased back into normal space. Detonating inside the alien reactor, it birthed a micro-black hole that devoured the flagship from within. Admiral Vexther felt his ship convulse as the singularity consumed the hull, emergency alarms blaring as entire sections vanished into the crushing void. "Abandon ship!" he cried, but it was far too late. The flagship imploded in seconds, taking the proud admiral and his crew. Across the battle zone, Dominion ships were systematically annihilated by incomprehensible weapons. Humans unleashed conversion beams that vaporized enemy vessels into pure energy, temporal disruptors that aged ships to dust in mere moments, and dimensional bombs that flung entire fleets into parallel realities. Captain Dan Foster, commanding the human destroyer Ranger, watched the last alien battle group attempt a desperate flight. His ship launched a gravity lance, forging a localized black hole before the fleeing ships, yanking them back towards the human armada. "This is Captain Foster to all alien vessels," he broadcasted, his voice resonating across all frequencies. "Your fleet is defeated. Your admiral perished. Surrender now, or face utter destruction." The surviving alien captains surveyed the ruins of their once formidable armada, 10,000 ships strong that had entered the solar system with unshakable confidence, now reduced to fewer than 500 operational vessels. Their weapons were impotent, their shields shattered, their escape routes obliterated. One by one, the Dominion ships powered down, broadcasting their surrender. The galaxy's greatest military power lay utterly broken by a species they had scorned as primitives. From her flagship, General Morrison observed the alien surrender, her expression unyielding. Having studied the Dominion's brutal history of conquest and enslavement, she knew no mercy was to be given. "All ships maintain positions," she commanded. "Their surrender is not accepted. We are not finished with them. Their true reckoning is at hand." Captain Dan Foster gazed upon the defeated alien fleet with steely resolve. The surviving Dominion ships drifted helplessly, weapons silent, crews awaiting a mercy that would never arrive. "General Morrison," Dan spoke into his comms, "the alien survivors request permission to return home, vowing never to attack Earth again." General Katie Morrison's voice crackled back, sharp and definitive. "Captain Foster, inform the aliens that surrender is not an option. We are aware of their past atrocities. We have been monitoring their empire for decades." Commander Kexel, aboard a surviving alien vessel, absorbed this chilling human decree with mounting dread. A veteran of 30 years in the Dominion military, a participant in countless planetary conquests, he understood the grim implications. "Sir, the humans are refusing our surrender," his communications officer stammered nervously. "They speak of monitoring our empire." Kexel closed his eyes, a profound despair washing over him. If humanity had watched the Dominion for decades, they knew of the slave worlds, the extinguished civilizations, the billions of innocent lives lost under alien dominion. In the human research vessel Discovery's laboratory, Dr. Maria Santos worked with quiet intensity. A woman of small stature, possessing bright eyes and a formidable intellect, she had dedicated 15 years to unraveling captured Dominion technology and biology. Today, her groundbreaking work would be unleashed. "General Morrison, this is Dr. Santos," she reported through her headset. "The biological weapon is prepared for deployment. It will target the Dominion's specific genetic structure, leaving all other species unharmed." Maria had achieved what no other race in the galaxy could conceive: microscopic machines, forged through advanced genetic engineering and nanotechnology, designed to halt the biological functions of any Dominion citizen. This weapon was utterly benign to all other life forms, yet instantly fatal to the aliens who had terrorized the cosmos. "Excellent work, Doctor," General Morrison replied. "And the technology virus?" "Also ready, ma'am," confirmed Dr. Kevin Wright. "My team has completed the program. Once released into the Dominion network, all their technology will cease functioning permanently. Their ships, their weapons, their power systems, everything will halt." Dr. Kevin Wright, a master of alien software systems, had crafted a programming masterpiece. His virus, poised to infiltrate the Dominion's galaxy-spanning computer network, threatened to dismantle their entire technological civilization from within. General Morrison declared with resolute satisfaction, "Initiate the final phase." As the remaining alien vessels, a fleet of imposing warships, watched in utter bewilderment, several small, seemingly unassuming human craft ventured towards them. These human ships bore the appearance of research vessels, not instruments of war. Commander Kextel, puzzled by this unexpected human maneuver, could only speculate about their intentions. His answer arrived with chilling swiftness. Invisible clouds of nanomachines were released from the human ships, spreading like an insidious mist through the void. These microscopic robots, programmed with terrifying precision, sought out any technology bearing the unmistakable signatures of Dominion design. Within mere minutes, every alien vessel in the vicinity was compromised. "Sir, our systems are failing," an engineer cried out in sheer panic. "The computers are being rewritten, and I can't stop it." The nanomachines executed their deadly task with unparalleled efficiency, replicating themselves into every conceivable piece of Dominion technology, from the gargantuan main ship computers to the most intimate personal communication devices. Each robot carried a dual payload, a biological weapon and a potent computer virus, poised to activate the moment they reached Dominion territory. Captain Dan Foster then broadcast a stark message to all the alien ships. "Attention, Dominion vessels. You are now the bearers of humanity's unyielding justice. Your ships have been irrevocably infected with programs destined to spread throughout every world in your empire. Upon your return home, all Dominion technology will cease to function, and every Dominion citizen will confront the dire consequences of your empire's unspeakable crimes." Commander Kextol felt a primal terror seize him, his blood running cold. The humans were not merely repelling an invasion, they were orchestrating the utter annihilation of the entire Dominion civilization. "You cannot do this," he pleaded desperately, his voice crackling across the communication channels. "Our empire shelters billions of innocent civilians, children who bear no guilt for their military's brutal campaigns." General Morrison's face, etched with an unyielding resolve, materialized on his screen. "Commander," she stated, her expression harder than tempered steel, "your empire has razed 847 worlds, enslaved entire species, and perpetrated genocide on a galactic scale. Those children you speak of will have the opportunity to forge a better civilization once your oppressive military machine is gone." President Lisa Harper then addressed the galaxy directly, utilizing hijacked Dominion communication networks, her message echoing across every world within the vast empire, translated into thousands of languages. "Citizens of the galaxy," she began, her voice resonating with a calm yet commanding power. "This is President Harper of Earth. The Dominion fleet dispatched to conquer our world has been annihilated. In the coming hours, all Dominion military technology will be permanently deactivated across the galaxy. On worlds once subjugated by the Dominion, enslaved species looked to their screens in utter astonishment. For generations, they had endured the iron fist of Dominion rule, believing freedom to be an unattainable dream. To the enslaved peoples of the galaxy," President Harper continued, her words a beacon of hope, "your liberation commences now. The Dominion military can no longer oppress you, and to the Dominion citizens, you are presented with a choice. Embrace the path of building a peaceful civilization, or face the same fate as your military." The devastating effects of the human weaponry propagated with astonishing speed, far exceeding any projection. Within 6 hours, every Dominion world plunged into darkness. Their weapon systems failed, their communication networks collapsed, and their once mighty war fleets became inert floating wreckage. On the former slave worlds, revolutions ignited instantaneously. Species subjected to centuries of brutal oppression rose up against their now powerless enslavers. The Dominion Empire, a seemingly invincible force for a millennium, crumbled into oblivion in a single, transformative day. Commander Kextol and the surviving Dominion personnel were permitted to return to their home systems, only to discover a galaxy irrevocably altered. Their worlds lay dark and inert, their government dissolved, their military utterly vanquished. 6 months later, the first human exploration fleets ventured beyond their solar system, not as conquerors, but as emissaries of liberation and protection. Captain Steve Mitchell commanded the flagship of the newly formed Galactic Liberation Fleet, journeying from world to world, aiding former slaves in establishing free societies. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the Zenturi system," his communications officer, Lieutenant Amy Chun, reported. "They're requesting assistance in establishing a democratic government." Steve smiled as his gaze swept across the starlit expanse. The Zenturi had endured 3 centuries of Dominion enslavement. Now, they were free to chart their own destiny. "Set course for the Zenturi system," he ordered. "Let's go help them build a better future." Humanity had ascended from its humble solar system to become the most potent force in the galaxy. But unlike the Dominion, they wielded their power to shield the vulnerable and champion freedom. The era of human leadership had dawned, and the galaxy would never again be the same. From their concealed monitoring outposts scattered throughout space, other alien civilizations observed the humans with a profound mix of awe and deep gratitude. Earth had achieved what no one had dared to imagine. They had vanquished the greatest evil the galaxy had ever known and replaced it with a radiant new dawn of hope. The very stars seemed to shine with renewed brilliance in the Dominion's absence, and at the heart of this cosmic transformation lay a small, vibrant blue planet named Earth, continuing its silent orbit around its sun, home to the species that had fundamentally reshaped the universe. The cosmos itself hangs precariously in the balance.